You know, I've been thinking.
Well, that's new.
I don't appreciate the clear favoritism happening in this workshop.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I don't know. Him getting a second layer of detailed texture, individual strands of fur. I got one bad afternoon in a structural collapse.
You fell apart.
I adjusted unexpectedly. There's a difference.
He's Bigfoot. He needs detail.
And what am I? Background decor with emotional depth?
Yes.
I'd like a second layer.
You can barely handle one. Here, hold on. Smell this.
Ah, absolutely not. I don't even have a nose. Are you serious? Whatever the hell that is can go straight to my brain. I could die. Again.
It's just mud.
That's not mud. That's butt. I know butt when I smell it. You're putting a lot of effort into this guy.
He's gotta look real.
Define real, because I'd like to know where I fall on that scale.
You're more conversational.
I hate that. So what's the plan now?
All right, so the structure's fixed. The next step is layering in that material to get that fur texture right. After that, it's just painting and sealing, and then this guy's done.
Jesus Christ.
If this works, it's gonna look like he's been sitting out there for a long time. And if it doesn't,
we blame the weather?
We blame the weather. All right, let's finish this build. To start where we left off, I went ahead and took my chicken wire and wrapped it around the actual skeleton of my armature. And the only thing I'm focused on right here is stuffing down that paper really tightly, because one of the issues I had and why it failed originally, because the balance was off and also it was too loose. So you saw me tape it in the first video, and then this one I'm going ahead and really packing that paper down. I also have a couple pieces of foam here that I put for the legs just to get a little bit more rigidity in the structure to help with that wobble. And it's a better technique to get a tighter fit around your skeleton, just to create a little bit more pressure and tension. And also too, I took my time here and I really kind of pushed out the form more. So look, his trap muscles, his shoulders are really broad. I wanted him big and hulking. This was the whole idea behind Sasquatch. Now, once the form is completely filled out, I'm starting to think in terms of sculpture here. So I like to put an underlayment of foam so I can create a relief carving, basically just a very simple block carving to get my shapes in place before I actually go into the detailed sculpt. This is all about blocking in form only. I'm not looking for detail here. I just want to be able to see what I'm working with, so I have a general idea of where I'm going to place my features. So now that I have everything blocked into place and I have the form looking good, what I'm doing now is creating my first layer of monster mud. Now this is going to be replacing the cement we used in the original video because of the weight of that stuff. But this monster mud is going to work as a great hard shell, and I'm using burlap because burlap has a lot of netting material, and that's going to grab just the right amount of monster mud, allow me to wrap it tightly around the structure itself, And then this will stick to itself as well, really well. And that's going to give me basically a shell to work with. And that's the only purpose of this layer. So all you need to worry about here is really compressing that material as tightly as you can. And you can see all the wobble in the character right now. But as you put this stuff on and let it dry, it becomes rock solid. Now, just a little tip with your monster mud as well. You don't want to do this in direct sunlight. If you can, keep it in the shade. And it likes to dry with airflow because you want the air to push through. It's a lot of latex paint in this and drywall. So you want to go ahead and get that airflow moving through it. Now, also another tip is secure your character if it's kind of wobbly like mine is here. Secure it to something that's sturdy. Make sure it's not in the wind. It's not going to move. So the monster mud will dry, become rock hard in the pose you want, and it won't be leaning any. Now, what I'm putting together here is a recipe I've been working on for the last few months. I'm dubbing this my grave method. I'm actually going to make a series of videos where I show you guys all these different recipes I've been working with. They're all budget friendly. They're all really great materials to work with. And I'll be going over all these recipes in detail so you guys will be able to check them out. But when it comes to sculpting, this is one of my favorite steps, but also in the same breath, it's one of my most time-consuming and difficult. I think this sculpt with the head, the hands, and just the toes on the feet, because he was such a massive character, and I'm using this troweling technique to sculpt the face, it took me about 7 hours, I would say, just on the sculpture itself. But it was so worth it the way this guy comes out. You guys are going to see here in a second. Also, too, just as a side personal thing, I absolutely love sculpting with the trowel. I've done tons of sculptures here on the channel. You guys seen so many different characters I've created. But when it comes to sculpting like this with the cement and the trowel, there's just a beauty to it coming together. It feels more alive to me than doing it by hand. So if you guys would like to see an in-depth tutorial on just me sculpting with this new technique, let me know. So now we're going to get into the actual texture fur layer. I thought a lot about this actually when I was thinking about how I was going to create Bigfoot, because he's all hair. So I can't get away with the same ideas with just putting material on him for clothes. I had to think outside the box here. And creating this yarn that I'm using here and trying to do that for the entire body, kind of like the way I did with the Grinch and his legs, even though it came out great, it just wasn't cost effective, and it would have took me so long just to do it. So I ended up grabbing the upholstery foam here and cutting it into thin strips and then kind of shredding it to create that look. Now around the hands, the feet, and the face, I decided to go with the wool yarn. And that was just to create a nice smooth transition where I can create individual looking pieces of fur. And now I'm transferring over to our actual upholstery foam. Make sure you're layering it from the feet going up or the hands going up so the hair kind of overlaps itself more naturally here. But this was perfect. He looks like he's been outside in the forest for years and his hair is all matted and it looks crazy. This is exactly the way I depict or I see Sasquatch in my mind when I think about it, and it just worked out so well. This is all about layering for this stage. So again, I put him in front of the fan for a good 24 hours and he dried nice and solid. I am going to be wiring him down when I put him in my yard though, just because I have crazy winds out here and I want him to be nice and sturdy. But for the paint, I'm going to mix up a nice base coat color. This looks orange on here, but it's more of a rust. And when I'm doing the fur for Bigfoot, I'm thinking in terms of layers, because if you notice anyone with natural hair color, there's layers in the hair. There's reds, there's browns, depending on the type of hairstyle and color, but I wanted it to feel layered. So an orange base tone or a rust colored base coat was the best to go for it. now I'm going over it with brown. And again, this is not a full coverage. So you can see the way I'm spraying here. It's kind of haphazardly. It's a little patchy, and that's purposely done so you can see the other colors underneath it as well. Now also too, when I'm thinking in terms of painting, I like to mix hand painting in with my spray gun or my airbrush, just because you want different textures and different layers. Now, before I get to the actual airbrush where I push in depth, I'm using that painting technique to kind of give the skin more life. And now I'm going in with my airbrush, getting that depth of detail that you're going to see in the eyes and nose of the character. Just to add another layer of detail, I'm adding just a little bit of white here, just to break up the browns and colors here. But this guy's done. When it comes to building characters like this dude's probably my favorite thus far. I absolutely loved it. It was a lot. It pushed me very far, but it was so worth it. So I hope you guys liked today's video. If you did, make sure you're subscribed down below. But until next time, happy haunting.
Oh my god. He's beautimous.
Beautimous? Are you all right?
Are you?
All right, Bigfoot's finally done.
Yeah, I noticed. He got the full treatment, didn't he?
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, nothing. Just multiple layers, detailed finish, careful attention. Must be nice.
You're still on that?
I asked for a second layer.
You can barely handle one layer.
That's not the point.
Bigfoot's done. Month-long build, structure, fur, paint, all of it. Came out solid.
Of course he did. I'm just saying, if you're handing out upgrades, I'd like to be considered.
For what?
I don't know. Reinforcement? Polish? Maybe a feature or two?
You're fine.
That's exactly what you said before I fell apart.
All right, Reggie. So what are we making next?
Well, we've officially hit that part of year. Halfway to Halloween.
Yeah.
And from what I've been hearing, people don't want small this time.
When do they ever?
No, I mean specifically hairy, mean, walks around like he owns the place.
That still doesn't narrow it down.
Better hope you've got a silver bullet. Or at least keep an eye on the calendar to see when that full moon hits.
You're enjoying this way too much.
I really am.
All right, so for halfway to Halloween, we're doing something a little bit different.
Very different.
We'll see how it goes. But until next time, keep building things. I'll see you later, Reggie.
Peace out, Home Slice.
Stay creative. And don't forget to go wild with it. I'll see you next time.